Welcome to the exotic car spectrum of love. What's the spectrum of love? I'm glad you asked. There are 4 steps in every salvage rebuild, and they range from loving it most to loving it least. The first of the 4 steps starts with finding the car. The Porsche 911s, the Audi R8, and the Lamborghini Gallardo all found at the same place on the internet. Going to the auction website and finding that exact car that you're looking for, that part can seriously take months, like it did with our Lamborghini. So when you do find it, it feels pretty good. Next, you have to find all of the parts to fix your car. Another task of the internet completed primarily on eBay Motors. The reason that step is so fun is because the dealer wanted $100,000 to fix our Lamborghini. Remember how much it cost us? It was $18,000. Saving $80,000 on a Lamborghini rebuild ranks pretty high on the love it scale. Nearly loving it the most. So which part do I love the most? Well, that's easy. That's the repair. Literally wrenching the car back to life is the coolest part. I mean, it's a Lamborghini. Remember I said it's a 4-step process? 1, 2, 3. Which part do I love the least? Believe it or not, it's driving the car. Why is it locked? I mean, let's not kid ourselves. I love every minute of driving a Lamborghini. Everybody should drive one once, just to get it out of your system. Although it can be a little tough to get it out of your system. But I'll keep trying. Try and try again. I guess we'll have to try again tomorrow. Now, the part of the rebuild process that is way down on the right side of this chart, I mean so far down, it's not love, it's hate. And there's only one part that I hate. And when I say hate, I mean hate. Selling. I don't hate selling for the reason that you'd think. It's not because I'm sad to give up this Lamborghini. It's because I don't like exchanging upwards of $100,000 with somebody I met 5 minutes ago. So how do we spend more time in the spectrum of love and less time doing the things we hate? Well, that's pretty simple. We're keeping the Lamborghini. And that means our next project has to be a smoking hot deal. The criteria are pretty simple. It needs to be all-wheel drive. It needs to be 500 horsepower. It needs to have 8 pistons, maybe 10, maybe 12. And it has to be a $200,000 car from the factory, all for $20,000 or less. I pretty much described our Lamborghini to you, except for this part. This part's a curveball. It is kind of funny though. This is the exact car that everyone told me not to buy. Everybody's doing it. Welcome to the channel. It's a Bentley Continental. I've always wanted a Bentley. I just couldn't afford the $200,000 price tag. The front end collision history brings the price down a bit. The remainder of the car looks pretty good. Although the Bentley logo has seen better days, and the wheels have seen a little neglect. But hey, it's got Pirellis. I can tell you right off the bat, it's not waterproof. Well, it was waterproof, but hopefully we can make it waterproof again. Apparently this car runs and drives, and I'd like to prove that to you before I even tell you about the damage. Have to assume, like every car that's ever been at an auction, low battery. We aren't surprised. Now, the reason I'm so eager to get the car started is so we can get this rear window to go up. And then if it rains, we won't ruin the interior. The batteries are in the trunk on a Bentley, and you have to pop the trunk open with this electric button. Electric button. Batteries are dead. Electric ain't gonna work. But if you climb through the car and hit the emergency latch through the trunk, how am I gonna fit through here? Where's the emergency latch? Oh, there it is. It glows in the dark. Wow, the interior is really cool. I need something long. I think I can hook this woodworking clamp around the handle. I'd expect the glow-in-the-dark handle to be a little bit more glow-in-the-dark. I think I popped it. Should be able to just to pull up. Ooh, there's a bit of resistance. Oh no. Why is it wet? Look how wet this is. Probably really important for us to figure out why this is so wet. I'm just gonna take out the rug for now. All right, so check this out. Inside the Bentley, there's the spare tire. There is a little bit of rust down below, but there's no pooled water, so I think we are okay. Under here is where the batteries are. Remember, Volkswagen bought Bentley at some point before they made this car, so this should come apart nicely. So there's our first battery. It's pretty big, and it actually looks to be brand new, which is concerning. Concerning because the new battery I have to replace it doesn't look any different. Obviously, there's more to a battery than the way it looks, but this one looks brand new. So here's the old battery. I do have this new battery, so we'll just replace it. I always buy replacement batteries before the car even shows up from the auction. With the new battery in, we should have power to the accessories, and hopefully we can put up the windows. Oh, come on, baby. Now, if I can get this window to shut, then it'll be watertight. Yes! Now, I'm not sure what this Bentley has been through exactly, but I do know one thing. It definitely doesn't deserve to look like this. I know just the trick. First wash on a new project is always the best. Welcome home, Bentley. You're safe with me. Gotta turn the compressor on. There's something extra special about saving a salvage car. Remember, 14,000 car accidents happen every single day in the United States. And a lot of these cars will end up at the auto auction just to rot away. Or if they're lucky, they'll be bought and sold for parts. Think back to July of 2008 when somebody woke up in Crewe, England, went to work at the Bentley factory and built this car right here, only to later end up in a car accident that totals this vehicle potentially forever. I find the car at the auction and get into a bidding war with likely somebody who plans on buying this car, completely dismantling it and selling every single part individually. It makes you wonder if the car knew just how close it was to its final resting place. Only to be won at the auction by me, delivered to my house, and to get a second lease at life in the spectrum of love. Now, all that fancy philosophy aside, if this car doesn't run and drive, none of that stuff matters. It's important to wear a seatbelt in a car that you don't trust, with a transmission that you don't trust. Although it looks like we are rolling forward. The first test drive, you have to go very slow. You never know what's gonna happen. We just wanna make sure the car rolls forward and that it turns. Test drive is really just to make sure the car runs, drives, stops, and starts. So far, so good. And at the same time, we wanna make sure the 12-cylinder twin turbo system actually works. Ooh, it works. I don't know what that error light means, but it's obviously not keeping us from driving. Overall, everything seems fine, and I think we're all right to move forward with our Bentley rebuild. By the way, the insurance estimated $30,000 to repair this car. Now, I already bought the parts that we're gonna need to fix this car. They're not all here yet, but you'll be surprised to know it only cost me about $3 grand.